What's going on, traders? Welcome back to another live stream. If you are new, my name is Zach. This is Real Deal Futures. Before we hop on to the charts on this beautiful Tuesday, January 27th, make sure you read what's on the screen. Trading is risky. Most traders do lose money. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't provide financial advice. Nothing I say or do is a suggestion or recommendation to do anything at all. Make sure you do your own research. Make your own trading decisions. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is, even in funded prop firm accounts. And the affiliate and partnership disclaimer that says I stand to make money from links and codes in my content, like Top on Futures, code RDF, Bookmap, Edgeful, and others. Chat, what's going on, guys? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let's see what these markets got for us today, man. Back on the home turf, streaming from my channel today. It was fun being on AC Trades live stream yesterday. Really, really fun. If you guys missed any of that, you could always hop in the 100% free trading Discord where I keep y'all updated. We got a special guest coming on today, but that's going to be just in a little bit. We'll get some market analysis done. We'll say our good mornings. We'll get started. Get ready for a good Tuesday here. Dr. AK, what's up? Blacksmith, what's up? Paul, Glenn B, ASFX, what's ASF 49, what's going on? Dwayne, what's up? Alan, what's going on? Marcy, what's going on? What's happening, man? Juan, Time Pass Core, what's happening, guys? What's happening? Fast Money Formula, Miguel Carrera, ADO King, what's up? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. What's happening, guys? So, let's take a look at the charts, man. As you guys know, or may or may not know, I do trade YM. I like the black sheep. I like the Dow. Tends to be my weapon of choice. We are here looking at a Top 1 Futures 15K pre-live account that I'm still working in, doing my damn thing. This is on the Project X platform. It will not be on the Project X platform for very long. As you may or may not know, Project X is going away for all prop firms except for one. We're going to be here on the Tradeovate TradingView platform coming up pretty soon. Probably just a couple weeks away from that. Coming over here onto a TradingView chart. But take a look at what we got going on in these markets, man. Kind of choppy here, guys. Kind of choppy. Yesterday, trading with those guys on AC Trades, I really didn't have much. This did present, an opportunity for a little bit of a short to the downside, but not until a little bit later into the session. We really just drove off the open. We swept prior day's low, swept Friday's low, pushed higher through Asia, London. We did get a nice clean retest here, of this volume point of control. We did come right back to that 12 a.m. price, which a lot of people look out for. And then we popped to the upside, really just drove off the open, 9:30 a.m., put a nice bullish session in, and then just a really ugly turn back down right at 4 p.m., closed back to the downside. Today, off the session changeover open, not NYSE open, pushing to the upside right through Asia session. London opened up. We wicked higher here into pre-market. We've been selling off pretty aggressively to the downside here. Really, can I widen this out a little bit without distorting it? Yeah, I can widen out a little bit without distorting it too much. Because I'm here on my nice Samsung 49-inch widescreen monitor, but I don't want to make it too zoomed out for you. Kind of choppy up here, guys. Kind of choppy up here. We're really, this is the 15-minute. We're really failing to get above this high. Back and forth. More moderate time frame right into last week. Pushed towards the high. Really couldn't get above. Sold off into the closed this morning. Selling off again after a bullish movement yesterday. I'm kind of interested to see where we go from here. I'm a little bit cautious in between all of this stuff, man. There's definitely opportunity, but it could start to get a little bit dicey. So, gun to my head, which I don't have in my trading office here, I would be long. If I had to take a trade right here, right now, I would be long. Why? We are low in yesterday's daily candle. We would have to be coming outside of an area of high volume. I think it's very likely that we pop right back up and retest VWAP. If we sell off, if we crack lower, I might look for a really aggressive long. I think that's going to be my first play today. I would really prefer not to short this market. Just in general, the more we chop around, the more I'm not gonna mind as much. But I wouldn't mind something like that today. Maybe just even something like that. You know, if we opened up to the downside really aggressively, I could see a potential long play. Same thing to the upside. If we cracked really aggressively right back up, I could see a potential aggressive short play. So I might have something off of the open. It is worth noting that NQ and ES are not doing the same today. These guys are not really aggressively selling off. ES sitting right here at VWAP, and NQ up above after some bullish movement, really holding strong into the open. So it's worth noting that Dow is completely living in its own world. You know, almost 400 points off the highs of pre-market so far, right? The high of the day, putting in a pretty nice bearish candle on the daily, while the other two are green, right? Yeah, other two are green. So worth noting, right? You know, I know a lot of you are trading ES and NQ. You know, I'm over here trading Dow. I want to be able to give you guys some reference at what we're looking at here. So again, I wouldn't mind a little bit of a crack lower for an aggressive long right into NYSE open. Could be a little bit risky, could be a little bit aggressive, but that's okay. I'm ready to take on that risk. Where might I look for that? Where might I look for that? Probably off like the 100s, right? Probably about 100 points lower, right into the 49,100s. Why? We would just be coming down towards the top end of this zone. I don't know that I would even really want to see us sell off like stupid aggressively, push all the way down here, but I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind it right in here, right? Kind of ahead of this potential area of support, right? Into the low end of this choppy back and forth consolidation. You know, that's probably what I'm going to be looking at right in here if I had to mark it on a nice round psychological number. Let's go ahead and mark the 49,100s with a nice gray line right here. That's what I'll be looking at. If we crack lower, I could consider this thing really aggressively long. If we push right up to the upside, you know, that's the move off the open that I'm considering. Again, if I had to be directionally in a trade here, you're always in a trade directionally, but if I had to be positioned directionally here, I would be long. I would be long this market right back up to VWAP. I think there's a good chance we go and crack 200 points higher. Trade right back towards the 49,450s, 49,500s. Nice key level up here. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm not running anything into this open, although I'm somewhat tempted today. Yeah, we come out, sorry to be twitchy with this chart, guys. I just want to be able to see this all with you here. Yeah, we come a little bit further outside of... See, now when I really zoom out, it gets even a little bit more dicey. Just framing my trade, and not to lock in too much, not to talk too much, you know, higher time frame analysis. I'm framing my trade because I might have something right into the open. Yeah, I don't know when I see... This is the benefit of zooming out, why we got to do some top-down analysis. I don't know if I love that 49,100s. It is a key level, you know, where it's at, right? It's coming off the highs of, you know, right before Christmas here, December 24th, December 26th, after Christmas as well. But we got another, you know, decent area of volume, looking at visible range volume profile all the way down here, 150 points lower, almost 200 points lower, where I would have a stop. So, yeah, I might try this one, but this could be a quick stop. Could be a quick stop. If we're going to sell off really aggressively and just, you know, turn this into a down day, obviously I would be dead wrong anyway. You know, where do I think we could find some buyers? Right in here. Right in here. Key level. Simple stuff. Low end of this visible range volume profile. Real simple stuff. That's what I'll be looking for a long. I think there's a chance that, you know, we do try these highs again. I think there's a chance that the others are calling for as well, right? A lot of people on socials. We're ready to break to the downside. This is it. You know, we can't get back above these highs and all these U.S. indices. We're dancing up here. Maybe we get one little wick ball, and then it's the bear market, right? I don't speculate on a higher time frame like that, and I'm really not in agreement with that anyway. If I was going to speculate on a higher time frame. So anyway, coming into the open here, about 20 seconds. Best of luck, everybody. Even though you shouldn't be relying on luck in your trading, structure your risk, trade your plan your trades, and trade your plan. That's what we're gonna do here today. So we'll see. We'll see if we get this crack lower. Do we have any news coming up today? That's a question. Not much. 10 a.m. we have consumer sentiment. Richmond Manufacturing Index, and we have Trump speaking at 4 p.m. So we do have a little bit coming into the afternoon. But we'll see what this market's got for us, chat. Let's see. Immediate pop to the upside here. Like I said, if I had to be in a trade, it would be long. Was looking long off the open if we could crack a little bit lower. If we go right back up to VWAP, trade right back through the level that I was looking towards the upside, the 49,450s, right? That would be the, that would be the 200-point move, 250-point move off the lows that I would be looking for into this open. So I wouldn't be taking anything at that point. I would have to be waiting to see if we pop a little bit higher, maybe take an aggressive short to the downside. So let's see. Still early. What's up, chat? How we doing? Arkansas, what's going on? Tim, good morning, sir. What's happening? What's going on? Everybody's names that I can't pronounce. What's happening, guys? What's happening? And I can see in the background, I think we got a special guest almost ready to get hopped on, brought onto the stream. I think we got somebody waiting back here. Hang on one second, guys. We're going to go ahead and bring in special guest Randy. What's going on, Randy? How we doing, brother?
What's happening, Zach, man? Good to see you, bro. I feel like it's been a minute.
It's been a minute, man. It has been a minute, for sure. How you doing? Yeah, good, man. Good. Trading away as always. Watching to see if I get a level hit right now, man. I might get something really aggressive right into this open with you here.
I heard you saying you're going to look at longs.
Yeah, looking at longs, man. I've really preferred to be long this market. Here is the 49,100s being traded out right now. This is pretty damn aggressive. Oh, look at the bounce. This is pretty damn aggressive. I might try this bad boy, though. But what's going on with you, man? I've been seeing some, while we're watching the markets, I've been seeing some awesome stuff out of you, man. Racking up payouts.
Yeah.
Been on a little bit of a roll, man, right?
Yeah, no, it was good. I had, actually, my birthday, December 1st, I had a bit of a lull in payouts. And then on my birthday, I took my first payout. And then I set a goal of just taking weekly payouts. And I went up until last week. I missed one. And then I just took one again this Monday. So it's good. I think I'm like nine payouts in the last 6 weeks or 7 weeks.
Nice, so dude. Nice.
It definitely feels good. I think it's one of those things like, we go through these cycles, green cycles, red cycles. And I think surviving the red cycles, we don't talk about it enough. And so it's, I was fortunate to survive my last red cycle. Now I'm in a green cycle. Let's capitalize, lock things in, and then get ready for the next red cycle when it does come, right? Because it's bound to come, and I gotta survive the red cycle, and then again the green will come, right? So
it's a really good way to think about it, man. It's a really good way to think about it. The longer I go, I have that similar mindset where a lot of trading, day in and day out, is just surviving. It's just trying to get by without taking too many L's as we're exposing ourselves to risk. And like you said, survive the red cycle, survive the turns where we're going to just have that drawdown. And then really try to capitalize when we're trading well, when the market's agreeing with us. And, not do anything crazy, but capitalize on that, right? Rack up those gains, try not to miss too much opportunity. I notice it in my trading for sure. There's these ebbs and flows. That P&L is not a straight shot to the upside. So I like that mindset. And I would say not enough people talk about that. Definitely not enough people talk about that.
And it was interesting. Like I was having when I was, in December and even into now, I've been adding into trades and just, capitalizing on the moves and base hits, but then hitting those home runs when they present, right? Yeah. Always stacking the base hits. But then, I think, again, this is another thing when we're learning to trade. Sometimes we just keep doing the base hits. And it's when you get that, you get that confidence and the conviction to go for those home runs every now and then, or you have an add in that, you add in perfectly at the right time and everything works. I think it just feeds everything. It's getting rid of that monster that's inside of us that's, wanting to add into you know what I mean, a losing position or doing all the things out of desperation and hope. So it definitely, it's cool to see the confidence and the conviction go up, but then there are moments where the market still humbles me. And, you got to be reminded of that too, right? Because it's not just straight up. So
Absolutely, man. Yeah, it's It's finding that balance. I think definitely, I would agree with you as well. Definitely, as I progress as a trader, as I see other traders that really are doing well, they are becoming more and more dynamic with risk, right? And dynamic with position sizing, with overall risk. I think as a beginner and people starting out, I think it's really crucial to keep it consistent. Same risk per trade, same risk per day. You just don't have the experience or the stomach to be able to be wrong on a larger trade, or have a small trade is the one that you're right on, that type of a deal as you're going back and forth. But as you get more experience, you get more confidence, conviction in your setups, knowing when something is really, really appetizing and when to push it, when to really, really put risk on, and swing the bat, as someone like Tanner says. I see him talk about it a lot. Is a huge play, a really huge play. There's these opportunities in the market that don't come around all too often. As you become more and more experienced, you know what they look like. Maybe it's adding in, maybe it's holding the trade longer. Maybe it's trying the same thing twice, where on another day you're not doing that. And it can be difficult. It's definitely a double-edged sword for sure. And again, not for beginners, but as traders get more confident, when they identify conditions that are really, really, looking good, I think it's how you see these outsized days, these outsized gains come from traders, right? Some guys are full porting it every single day and then they just get lucky. But for the most part, for guys that are consistent, how do they have this really big week or month or even year, right? They identify the conditions that are right. They took on more risk, right? Could have been a really bad week or month or year, and they pressed it. And I try to do more of that, or I'm trying to do more of that this year, as I'm identifying setups that look really, really good, putting risk on, leaving it on, pushing it when I'm doing well. And then, like you said, surviving, right? The same thing turns around where it's, we're taking L's back to back, is just surviving.
Yeah, and even when I started taking those weekly payouts with Top Step, I was taking. I started with $1,000. I made sure there was $2,000 buffer left in the account. So anything over $2,000 every Monday I would take out, and I was fortunate to go 1,000, and then in my third week it was 1,750, and it was just because I had a better week. I still left $2,000 in the account. Nothing changed, but just capitalized on those one or two trades. And now, instead of $1,000 payout, it's a 17, almost a 2,000, almost doubled it. And then it went back to 1,000, then another one, 2,200. So you get to, and I think when you actually see it progress and you see it happen in real time, it's a lot easier to understand it. Like, you and I can sit here and talk about it till the cows come home. And it's just like, some people are like, what the fuck they're talking about, right? But it's, then the goal is, I'll have an outlier payout where it's 10x of my normal trading, and then that just goes to show, and then goes back to just being base hits, capitalize on a day of trending day, because we're back at all-time highs. I don't know how much of these beautiful trending days we're going to catch for a little bit. We might be sideways, but we got to just make sure we're just capitalizing. And then in the first year of trading, don't forget all of this, what I'm saying. And like Zach said, consistent size, consistent risk. I meet people all the time that get into oversizing or adding into positions in the beginning of their trading, and they're taking double the losses, cutting trades early, all the things you shouldn't be doing just because they put on too much size.
Yep, absolutely. No, it's awesome, man. Awesome to hear that you got some really, really good stuff rolling, a lot of consistency. And for anybody listening in, I think starting out, which is probably where many people listening in are at. You want to be more consistent. You want to try to be able to keep things as consistent as you possibly can, so you can track and find what's working and what's not working, right? When you're off, you're not having these outsized losses because you're putting on more risk. You're not inconsistent and unable to actually generate at least a consistent amount of data to say, hey, this is working, this is not working. Conditions shifted, this doesn't work well, or I'm off my game, this is what's happening, or I'm going really well here. And again, I just don't think I certainly didn't have the experience and the discretion to be able to identify, what looks really good and when I should be pressing it or doing something different. So I'd say discretion first in your trading a little bit, right? Applying that, that intuition or, that context of the market. And then as you get more experience, right? I think this is after you grab onto some consistency. You can look at being more dynamic. And I think it's also important, like I'll go even further to differentiate this and make it clear. I'm not talking about YOLOing the whole account on one day because it looks really good because we got like news rolling or something. I'm not talking about exceeding your risk parameters per day on the account, right? Like percent wise or dollar wise. We talk about, maybe an individual position. Like maybe you are typically giving yourself, for a rough example, $500 risk per trade and 2 trades per day. Maybe you say, hey, this first trade, this opportunity is big. I'm putting $1,000 of risk on. I'm doubling my position size, but I'm still capping my downside at 1,000. And because I know this market is really just running, I'm watching a lot of continuation. I'm going to hold this normally, a little bit more than I normally would. That type of a movement, not just all of a sudden max contract size, full port the thing. That's not what we're talking about here for the most part.
No, and even to quickly add to that, there's 2 ways I added into trades in the last 2 years of trading. I've either added into a trade and taken double the loss, or I've added into a trade, reduced my risk on that add-in because I have conviction in the idea and price is trending in the direction I want it to be trending in. So I'm able to reduce that risk. And I've never taken any more than my original risk loss on an add-in, which I think is the key to what Zach's trying to say is we can be adding into positions, but we got to be managing our risk on the downside of that immediately on the add-in. So
yeah, 100%. No, it's a really solid trade management. I'm watching this market. Real quick, I'll come back to mine. I can pull your chart up here in just a minute, Randy, if you're ready for it. This was a really, really aggressive move to the downside right as I was bringing you on, right into the open. What was this, a couple minutes in? 9:32 a.m. We tapped that 100. Really clean bounce off of it. Almost 150 points here in YM. I don't know that I want to chase this. I don't know that I want to get in really aggressively on this one long. I think this could start to turn into a down day. I did see NQ and ES wick to the downside. I'm tempted on this one pretty aggressively long here, coming into 9:45 a.m. I don't mind this, just to frame this out. It's just a little bit volatile, so I wanted to see where I would get a stop maximum down here for a stop loss.
The one indice I look at it all the time. I don't trade at YM, so
YM, nice.
I got it. You're looking at YM right now, aren't you?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Looking
I got it pulled up, so I'm just having a look and trying to see if I can offer.
No, if I'm looking at this choppy back and forth movement up here. For today, obviously pretty bearish movement. We came all the way down through London, wicked lower. I'm just looking at this either turning back up to the upside and kind of continuing to try to push towards these highs and retest. Coming back up to this area here, back above VWAP. I would have loved it right in here. Not fast enough execution for that though. Would have loved that right in there. Would have presented a really nice risk structure for a quick trade up to the upside. At this point, I don't mind it, but I think I'm just going to stay patient. See maybe if we get a retest, what this looks like. But I think we might run it. I think we might run it right back up, and this is going to be my missed execution for the day. I'm not going to classify this one really as missed though, because this is aggressive. This is really aggressive. I don't love to be involved in the market 60 seconds in, but this is the movement that I was looking for. So we'll have to see. Let me go ahead and pull.
We got news at 10 a.m. too, right?
Yeah, we do have some news coming at 10 a.m. Orange folder, nothing too crazy. But let me go ahead and pull your charts up. Take a look at what you're looking at here this morning, Randy. Still on ES and
yeah, ES.
Nice.
I'm looking at ES. My chart is you're probably used to Zach's black chart. I'm the opposite. I'm gray. But no, I like this. I like this move in the overnight. We got above previous day's point of control, previous day's value area high, and you can kind of see we get this push, and I thought we were going to come out and take out 7,010, but we just didn't get there. It stalled at 7,006. I actually took a long from previous days point of control up to previous day's value area high, which was just a nice, clean, easy long. I had that in the overnight. So I was liking longs, but I want to see us get back above this value area high. I want to see us get back above 95. You can see as we just break the opening range here, we get above New York VWAP, and we're kind of sitting up here. So curious to see how it plays out, but with that news coming at 10 a.m., I know it's orange folder. I don't know why I thought it was red folder news. I might just
Might just
hang
hang
out
tight
for a
on it.
minute here. We
Yep.
got quite a small opening range on ES. It's only 8 points. So I don't know if the market's just getting like expecting something, so it's kind of just slowing down. It's going to consolidate a bit, and then we're gonna get a pop here. So, yeah, I got it. Maybe it's on Financial Juice. I got it red folder USCB Consumer Confidence.
Let's see. Yeah, you're right. That financial G show on this one is high impact. So yeah, we'll have to see on this one. Maybe
And
maybe not a bad play just to wait for that. I don't love trading through news. It's nice when it works. It's not nice when it doesn't. It can just be that really violent stop.
well, if I was trading through news, I'd be wanting to buy it down at the lows,
Yep.
like something like that. I don't want to be buying it middle of the range, like where it's choppy. If I'm trading news, I want to be buying at the highs or lows, so then I have room on the downside or upside to actually take that risk of playing it through the news.
Yep.
Buying it in the middle here, I got to put a stop, 10, 15 points lower that can just get tapped in one wick. That I've done it so many times.
Yeah. I hear
Yeah.
that. I hear that. Nice, man. So take us through your chart if you don't mind, Randy. I know we got a handful full of people said good morning to you as well in the chat. But
Yes, I have
we're
to pull that up here.
yeah, we got it looks like we got a couple volume profiles levels coming off of volume profiles and opening ranges and some VWAPs.
Yeah, so I basically use three things in my trading. I use VWAP, volume profile, and bookmap. The order of those change depending on what I'm seeing or the most confluence is in, but I'm looking for always a confluence in at least two. So I'm looking for VWAP to line up with orders on bookmap or volume profile. And for volume profile, I just use previous days volume profile and then previous weeks. These are more of just a bigger time frame kind of levels for me that I like to see price get above, below, reject off of. And you can see clearly here, previous day's value area high was clear level of support, right? We held these 95s, and now we just broke the opening range to the top side. But I'm looking at that, and then we use the opening range. I don't trade for the first 15 minutes normally. I wait till that sets, look for a break, and then look for a retest.
Nice.
And yeah, so we just actually down here on the bottom, we just been working on an indicator that kind of shows the VWAP across the three indices and where we're at, and if market's trending, bearish, bullish. So
Cool, man. So that shows you whether we're above or below. Is that kind of
yeah,
very cool. Very
right.
cool.
So the New York VWAP, the overnight VWAP, which is start a session, previous day's New York VWAP, and then a low a day, high a day VWAP. And then
Nice.
I have NQ, ES, and YM. So those are the three. I'm constantly looking at the three tickers. Always. I have those charts always open, and I'm looking for either when you get all three in alignment, it's beautiful. Those are those trending days we got to capitalize. But most of the time, you're going to have NQ with ES or ES with YM or YM kind of dragging down ES. So YM does have a lot for me. I see a lot of weight on ES. So I kind of track that closely. I just don't trade it because I don't know the tick value or anything about it, right? So
sure. Nice, dude.
Yeah, that's
nice.
kind of what I'm looking at. So I like the longs too. Again, we're back above that level, but do I take this trade and hold it for 12 minutes and then get out of it?
Yeah, is that the so do you have I'm looking at this thing long again. It's kind of giving me a second chance on YM here.
Yeah, YM looks good. It's just below its New York.
Yeah, not quite all the way back down to this level, but I'm gonna run this one long, guys. I'm jumping in. I'll pull my chart up. I'm gonna run this one long. I like how we rejected the 100s. I'm gonna go stop loss pretty far outside. Could absolutely just be the really gnarly down day that we're gonna turn into here. We could need to come way outside of this. Sorry, let me pull my chart back up here. I'm long one from 49, 182. I'm gonna run this one into this 10 a.m. news. I don't love trading news. It's not as, we're gonna see, it's not as big of a one for me. Like, definitely not a fan of trading into NFP, FOMC, CPI, unemployment. Like, those are all, if I'm taking a trade 10 minutes before those, I'm probably doing something wrong. CB consumer confidence for me, watching it. Richmond manufacturing as well. I mean, anything in these markets could throw us like really, really gnarly. Could be just way off, but this for me is a decent one. I like this long. It's really what I framed out coming into the open. A break lower, test of this 100s. This is stupid aggressive. If I'm jumping in at 9:31 a.m. Eastern, I'm almost always going to get cooked, so I'm not upset about waiting a little bit longer. We got a really nice rejection off of this. Came back up to this zone. Sellers, at least for now, can't seem to take it lower. I also take a look at Bookmap. We're growing CVD on YM. We were pretty low off the open, and we popped up. It's a negative CVD, but it's on the way back up. So I'm going to see if we can't hold this level here. I'm allowing a real wide stop the way that I usually am. Let me actually just tighten that just a hair. Yeah, I'm going to go stop at 49. What is this? 49, excuse me, 48,985. Let me not mess this up. You know, if we get a retest of this level, break outside, I've got quite a bit to the downside. I don't know that I would really need it to let it come all the way out here, but I like to run a wide stop. I like to just be completely dead wrong if I'm wrong.
I like it on the 2 minutes. You're putting in a nice higher low here.
Yeah,
It's got some small higher highs in the opening range, and NQ and YM are starting to move.
yeah.
Or sorry, NQ and ES are starting to move.
I think this could be a decent one. I like the risk structure on it, right? I like to take these trades from the extreme. They're maybe not as high probability, right? Maybe they're not going to generate as high of a win rate, but I love the idea of I don't need this to turn into a big bullish day. I don't need it to turn into a bullish day at all for a nice win. I don't need it to run to the upside to break prior day's high. I just need a nice little reversion here. And what I would like to see out of it, I'm not going to run a fixed take profit. I think a decent move would be back up towards those 400s, you know, right into that that opening print. It'd be back above VWAP. It'd be back up to this area of high volume on visible range volume profile over here. Volume point of control from prior day. Do we do that? You know, maybe. Do we just get VWAP and then start to reject? Do we turn to the downside from here? I don't know, right? Never know what's going to happen next to the market. But for me, I like this one. Said I wanted the longs. Maybe on another day, I'm getting even more aggressive off the 100s. I love how we rejected this level right here. So I'm going to run this one long. I think if we do come lower today, we're going to blow my stop and trade way down below and turn this into a really gnarly down day. So that's my trade off the open here. We'll see how news treats me. We do have some 10 a.m. news. We'll repeat that again. But that'll be my trade of the day. Probably just going to be a one and done as well. With about $1,000 worth of risk, I'm not really going to allow myself multiple on this one.
I like it on YM 280. 49,280 is previous week's point of control.
Nice.
Like I said, if you can break back above that, you know, get these buyers step in strong. We get back up over this overnight VWAP, and then your 400s lines up with previous week's value area high and previous day's value area low. And when I see stacked levels on volume profile like that, from the bigger picture to the smaller picture, there's going to be a bunch of transactions that were done there, and people are going to want to get back up into there. If not, you can look for a rejection off that level, but you're looking at 400 to take profit anyways. That's on the high, you know what I mean? So it's a beauty. I like the trade. I like it a lot.
I'm glad to get some added confidence on this one, Randy. So
I just get excited when I get excited when I see confluences, and especially in what in the levels I trade with. When I see things line up, like I'm passionate about it. Like I don't know what else to say, right? Like to bring like so.
No, for sure. Let's see. I can pull your chart back up. Well, I'm going to let this one play for now. Probably going to wait for the 10 a.m. news, but looking at anything potentially setting up for the day, or is this kind of just a wait and see? I know it's pretty.
Well, look at I missed my move here on ES. She's gone, right? So I need to wait. I need to wait for a pullback to these 95s. I'd like to see some sort of retracement and then look for the second leg up. Or this thing could just want to go straight up. But Austin posted something on our Discord about Trump's supposed to be signing a deal today with China on finalizing some tariff stuff. So we could get a big pump on that. I could see that actually being positive, but I don't know. We'll see. But like I said, I like your YM trade for like just having these levels up here, right? You got these VWAPs. We get above these. Sure. I think you can cruise into those 49,400s.
Yep. Yeah.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, we'll see if we can do it. That could be interesting, man. It's worth noting. I talk about it a lot, but it's just worth noting. The markets that we're in, man, these Trump markets, you know, since he's been in, it's pretty wild. There's not much I think you could do to anticipate when something like that's going to happen. If something's scheduled, and and you got an eye on it, just anticipating some volatility. But man, they are, anything that comes out, any conversation, even comment on it, post, it can send the market. So anybody that's listening in, man, if you're trading these days, you probably would have noticed this through the last year. Use some stop losses, structure your risk, accept it on the front end, right? And just recognize that it's beautiful when you're on the right side of it, but when you're on the wrong side of it, you really want to have stops in. You really want to have accepted that stop loss, and just recognize that at any point, right, a comment like that comes out and it's just a rocket candle. We got it last week. Actually had an Instagram post like blow up after it because into the afternoon we had that just straight rip to the upside. It's great if you're on the right side of it, but I think just preparing for that volatility throughout the day, that really aggressive volatility at any point, is important. Just
I agree, and I think something that's helped me is if I've been sitting in a trade and it's sideways or it's not going in my favor but still sideways, I'll tend to take a break even on it or take some size off, because the longer I sit in that thing, last week was a prime example. I was in the long, so thankfully for me, but there was people in our Discord that were in the short, and you just got cooked on that Greenland comment. But if you're not feeling the trade in these kind of market conditions, if you're able to get out at a break even and this thing's chopping sideways, or you take a small loss or just reduce some risk, do it, because before you know it, that one tweet comes and you're on the wrong side of it, and you're already pissed because you sat in the trade for a few hours, sitting getting chopped around, and then you get blown out by a stupid tweet, right? So there's nothing wrong with these market conditions. Sometimes just getting out of the trade if you're not feeling it, right? Just trust your gut. Sometimes it's telling you for a reason.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think I think protecting capital in that way can be helpful, right? If you're taking into account like, hey, at any point we can get this rapid change and increase in volatility, and even more so if you do have your ear to the fundamentals and you're like, we've got deals going on, like you guys were talking about, Austin was posting that. Even more so to say, hey, like if I got something running in profit, maybe I'm going to protect capital a little bit more. If I've got, something that's just moving sideways, chopping around, like not going at all, maybe I go stop to break even. I try to find that balance, man. It's always an interesting one, the stop to break even thing, the taking risk off, holding your trade all damn day versus, clipping it. It's a constant battle for sure. It's double-edged sword, and it's something I've been making a lot of videos on. But I think for beginners as well, right? You can think of, and this is not for everybody. I trade from a pretty high time frame. I hold my stuff for a long time, but there's a lot to be said for price not reacting from your level at all, right? Like I've heard a lot of traders say, hey, if this thing just goes sideways for 5-minute bar after 5-minute bar and I'm just sitting at break even, I like to get out. My thesis is already wrong, right? We didn't find buyers here. We didn't reject off this level quickly. There's a time element to it, right? Where I think this is going to play out in the next bar, right? So, maybe your stop loss isn't hit. Maybe the trade's not invalidated by price, but it's invalidated by time. So there's nothing wrong with that. I think you can, again, if you're not collecting data, you're not using some journaling tool or just tracking it yourself, collect your data and say, hey, when I have a trade that I enter and, it moves directly off of that level, how likely is that one to be a winner, versus a stop loss versus a trade where I enter and the thing chops sideways for the next, 45 minutes or 2 hours. How likely is that one to continue all the way to my take profit versus, hit my stop loss? And, you might find something there. A lot of traders might find something there. So.
And I think you said something key, and I think new traders got to understand this. Like a break even, you got to reframe it sometime as preserving capital. Don't look at it like, shit, I left this money on this table. This did after. I could have made this. I could have done this. You need to look at like flat is a position too. And, preserving capital is real. And when you get to that place and you're able to trade a personal account, which is, I think, everybody's goal, or you get to that live account, that status, preserving capital is key. So
absolutely.
I think it's just because it's like you said in the beginning, break even suck. And it's like, and they can be detrimental because you can just be taking too many break evens because you don't have the confidence in the trade, or, you're just pulling it too quick or moving to break even immediately in profit. Those can be very detrimental, but there's certain situations where it's more about preserving the capital.
100%. It's that balance, man. I think again, it comes from at least I know I repeat it a lot, but I think it comes from tracking, right? Just trying to do a little bit more of what's helping you, a little bit less of what's not. If you find you are someone that, enters trades, they go sideways, they chop around. I know we're coming into news here, right? We're coming to news about 10 seconds. I could pull my trade back up here.
I'm surprised the book didn't go that dark, so maybe it's...
Yeah, YM got a little bit darker on it. A little bit of a dip on YM here. Let's see. I'm looking at. I did take a look at ES and NQ, man, and these guys are getting ready to test these highs. Is it gonna be the day, or were we really push? I mean, I'm looking at ES from a higher time frame here. This is pretty aggressive, man. From a daily chart. I'm wondering if this is gonna be the day where we really try it. Do we get a rejection up here? NQ coming out of a really aggressive resistance zone as well, or at least trying to on the daily, man. So I think if we do get to break one of these days, because it's rejected up here a lot, could be pretty aggressive. But
well, on ES and NQ, you've seen it quite a bit lately, where you get these overnight moves up, and then in the New York session, we just erase it.
Yeah.
And this is actually the opposite today. Took a little chunk out of some of that pre-market move, but clearly put in another higher low, making a leg higher, right? So we'll see. And it's ES took out now its pre-market highs. I don't know if NQ did. Oh yeah, NQ did too.
Yeah, here's what I'm looking at for these on. I'm going to see if YM is just going to live in its own world today, or if it's just the laggard. It's going to turn and give me a real nice trade. But higher time frame view on NQ, for example, I've seen a lot of people draw this chart. The wedge, right? We're kind of consolidating, chopping around. A lot of people saying, hey, we're putting higher lows into, putting higher lows into this area here. We're getting ready to break out. This could be interesting. I think we could see some momentum if we start to come out of this. I'm not the, chart pattern trader, especially not from a higher time frame, but it's interesting to note these from a higher time frame for sure. ES is as well, really holding this higher time frame structure to the upside. We cracked the high here, came aggressively back in. Is this ready to be, another leg higher where we pulled back down and we're ready to kind of break out of this consolidation coming into the beginning of the year? Or are we just going to test this high and chop? We're going to kind of continue this back and forth movement that we've seen. I think out of all of them, YM has been the choppiest up here, the least bullish after getting there first, after really aggressively pushed on the upside. Now kind of this back and forth choppy. You can see what this looks like on the daily. Back and forth choppy movement, but all of these from a higher time frame really still looking strong. I'm curious to see where we go. I'm curious to see if this this could be a start here.
You saw Donald Trump said YM's going to be 100,000, right? It's going to double.
Yeah, I did see. Stock market's going to double. Stock market's going to double. Listen, man. I'm not the fundamental trader. I try to stay in my lane, with what works for me, which is technicals. Really, just being hyper focused on technicals and allowing a lot of that stuff to go by the wayside. But I think there's something to be said for the lever that that team seems to be able to pull on the market. That they're going to be coming into midterm elections, and that they have done a really good job of keeping the market inflated in the past. And I think they can probably continue to do that outside of a lot of big catalysts, from the outside, big fundamental drivers, things that are out of their control that just, are going to occur. They just seem to say things and, rip that bad boy higher. So again, I'm not the fundamental trader. I don't know how I apply that to my trading to say I'm going to go long only, or this is what it's going to be for the next few months. But, there's something to be said for that team, man. It's next level how a comment out of them, not even like a policy change or a law or a ruling, but just a comment can move the market as much or more than a major, red folder news
event. That's the era that we're in right now. It's words. We had a instant last week or 2 weeks ago where news came out that China was going to block the sale of NVIDIA chips, and then it said the sources was like 2 unconfirmed people or something. And if you read it on Financial Juice, the market kind of dipped for a millisecond, and it was a big pin down. Mm-hmm. But even like Austin pointed out, he's like, it just says 2 unconfirmed sources. Like now people are just saying shit. Somebody's putting it out there, seeing the reaction they're going to get, and then nothing came of it. And just it was, we had I don't know, 2 or 3 or 4, maybe 6 months ago, where CNBC reported that Michael Burry put on a $9 billion short. It was a $9 billion in options. I think it was like a $50 million position or something. Like, it wasn't even a big position,
There you go.
but they didn't do the math on the contracts. They just
Yep.
said it was a $9 billion short. And I was just like, it's fucking crazy. And that drove the market. Like, that brought the market down for a bit, right? And I was just like, it's crazy how, people should be getting fired for this kind of stuff, like not doing their due diligence.
It's absolutely insane. It's insane how quick that knee-jerk reaction is off of these comments. It's really insane. I do think, like, for a while when we had so many, I actually talked about it on my lives, when we had so many back-to-back like comments that were coming out that were driving the market all over the place. I was really I'll come back to my trade as we're getting ready to crack this low. As we were really reacting so damn quickly, aggressively off of every movement, I was like, I might try Squawk. Like, I might try headphones pumped in just to try to stay on top of like what's going on throughout the trading session, because there was just so damn much of it. Watching this one, man, might be taking the L. This was a really, really aggressive reaction off the hundreds. I like this trade. Didn't take it on the way back up. Took it on the consolidation here. Buyers trying to step in. Coming back down to break this low. I don't love it, especially as NQ and ES are just really, really were ripping higher up until right about now, or they're just kind of settling around that 7,000 even, right?
Took out those pre-market highs.
Nice. Yeah, I'm looking at this as a potential test of this level, right? Take everybody out one more time before a really aggressive push back up. I think if we come through this with force, I'm cooked. It's just going to be that trade for me. I like this one. I'm holding on to it. I'm not a big fan of doing anything in drawdown as far as clipping the trade really early, moving the stop loss closer, moving the stop loss farther away. I just don't find I can provide really good inputs doing that, anything consistent. So I'm going to look for this test down here. Last ditch for this one is coming outside, popping stops on everybody getting long on the way back up here. Trading, yeah, just about 200 points off of this NYSE session high so far, and then coming right back up. If we do come right back up, I'm really going to like it. We come back through this high, come back through VWAP. I think that's a beautiful trade, something I would definitely look to hold on to. But might not be the day for it, man. Just might not be the day for it. We may be pushing lower. Maybe we do see the rest of the market roll over, and YM is the leader. I'm not the correlation trader either. It's not really my forte. I had MLT Eric on the show a couple days ago, and he is primarily correlation and divergences. It's really interesting. But yeah, this one's going to be interesting to watch for sure.
I'm long on ES.
Nice. Let me bring your screen back up if you're ready for it.
Yeah. I'm copy trading on Tradeovate, so I got to kind of flip back and forth between the.
Nice. Sending it long. Got a retest of some levels in here.
Yeah, so we got New York VWAP as this blue line.
Mm-hmm.
You can see we came back down to New York VWAP, held it nicely, took off. NQ had a bit of room before it got down to its New York VWAP, so I was kind of waiting. I thought NQ could have pushed this a little bit lower, and we'll hold these 95s. So this is kind of where I wanted to be long. Would have been perfect entry down here at 95. And then I waited, and then so I got in a little bit late here off the New York VWAP. But I think now that this, we took out these pre-market highs, you had this bit of a sell-off, New York VWAP, the buyer stepped back in. We're above, all the value areas for yesterday. So strong buyers in here. CVD sitting at about 3,000. It was, I think, close to 4,000 at the highs, and then pulled back to 2,600. So I just kind of watch the CVD now and see if the CVD can keep increasing.
Nice.
Telling me to, kind of just keep the buying strength in in the trade, and just, let's see.
Nice, dude. Let's see what we can do. Nice pop to the upside, following trend, right? Following trend of the day, pushing to the upside, entering not even on a pullback, but strength after the pullback, which I think is a pretty sweet move. Following your system, clean risk, clean structure to the upside. I like it, man. I like it.
Well, when you see sell-offs like this, like not a sell-off by any means, just a down move, and you see this 2-minute bearish bar here, and it stops at the New York VWAP, the next one could print, and this could slice lower and find some support down here. So I try and wait for that turn in the strength. I'm on a 2 minute, so on a 1 minute, I probably could have gone in a little bit sooner. I could have probably got in here, but I trade a 2 minute chart just because it helps me with my patience and the emotions and all that stuff. Like, there's a little bit too much noise on a 1 minute for me.
Sure.
And yeah, so I look for the strength now. We call it the turn. Look for the turn off the New York VWAP. Buyers are in. We get this move up. We got tons of orders above now. So let's see if we can trade into them.
I like it, man. I like it. In the green off the rip. That's a good spot.
Oh, your YM trade did take you out, or you still in it?
No, still in. Still in.
Nice.
Yeah, still in.
So yeah, it's holding its opening range low on YM. I like that.
Yeah, we swept down below. I'm actually I'm actually looking at in some live accounts as well. We'll see if we can't turn this into something good. But yeah, I'm gonna leave your screen up, man, because this is a beautiful one. Really nice. Really nice.
Yeah, so we'll see how we trade back into these highs. You can see these pins back here to the left.
Now for this one, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No.
I was gonna say no fixed take profit, no fixed take profit like me. Running this thing to the upside. Will you look to scale out? Will you look to get full out at a certain point? Hold the damn thing all day? What's usually the trade management for you?
So I'll look how we trade into the liquidity, the orders above, and then I'll look to, I'm copy trading on Tradeovate. These are top 1 accounts. Mm-hmm. So I don't like to have too many orders on the screen in case something gets left behind in one of the accounts or something doesn't get picked up. So I'd like to manage this probably at the highs, look to get out. But like I said, I like the orders above. If we can just get through this previous high here and make a new high, I think we can get 7,010, and then I'll just look to flip into here and manually close the whole position across all 3 accounts. Because what I've done in the past is when I'm copy trading is I do something, I micromanage, or I do something in this trading view panel, and it only affects the 1 account. And then I go back into Tradeovate, and there's an order open, or the position didn't close, or I've had it before where I've closed the position and the take profit got picked up as an order, and now I'm back in the trade, and I gave back some of the money that I made. So
I see. So you're entering from Tradeovate while you're copy trading directly from Tradeovate, and then you're just watching and managing on.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. Okay. Because I do all my analysis on TradingView.
Okay, makes sense. Yeah, no, totally grasp that one. That makes sense. Yeah.
Have you used NinjaTrader, or do you use NinjaTrader?
I'm a Mac guy, and Tradeovate's really the go-to for it. Have you started to test with Ninja?
No, I'm gonna look into Ninja because actually, like being up here in Vancouver, Canada, I can't trade with Tradeovate live, so I can trade with Ninja, and then Ninja has a broker called Iron Beam that is their sister company, so I can put money in with Iron Beam in a personal account, and then be able to trade on NinjaTrader.
Because no live stuff for you.
No Tradeovate for us. Only in Ontario. Nothing in the rest of Canada, which is like crazy when you think about it.
That's interesting. Dang, man. Okay, now you'll be able to make it work. But no, it's interesting to hear how you're managing that, because I've been getting a lot more questions on it. I know the Trade Syncer setup can work if you're copy trading a lot of accounts. You can execute right from TradingView, but that's not a bad way to do it. So for anybody that's listening, because we got a bunch of people on chat. On stream. Appreciate you hopping on, guys. For anybody that's listening, obviously Project X is going away. If you weren't aware, Project X is going to be, done for all prop firms except for one. A lot of traders like to copy trade, and we're doing that through Project X. What Randy's doing here, and what we're just talking about, is these accounts are from Tradeovate, the leader in the prop space, but a big one in the futures trading space as far as platforms go. So he has multiple accounts on Tradeovate, and he's copy trading natively within Tradeovate. And then he also has the account, I'm guessing like the main account or one of the accounts, logged into TradingView, and he's entering and exiting on Tradeovate because they're all copy traded there. But he comes back to TradingView because he charts on TradingView, wants to trade off of TradingView, can view everything. So this is Tradeovate, not to steal it from you, but I was trying to break it down because I've been talking about it a little bit. copy trading right from Tradeovate, where all of them are linked natively. You don't need a third-party trade copier in order to do that. And then you can also be logged in, and when you execute on Tradeovate, it'll show on TradingView, just like if you were logged in on TradingView and you executed, it would show on Tradeovate. But correct me if I'm wrong here, you can't copy trade from TradingView first, right? Like just what you were saying.
Not unless you use a third-party option like TradeSyncer, and then there's another one that I have and I have been using, and I'm just not using it today, is Traders Post.
Yep.
I think Traders Post is another great product, but their trade copying became like a, I don't know what you say, like an accident. That's not even what they originally designed their software for. So they're working on how to make it a little bit more streamlined, where TradeSyncer is a leader follower. Trade copier is like you execute with lines, with alert lines on TradingView, and then it sends individual signals to every single account you have. And then you can control size. Did you not? I thought you went on. Did you go on with Mike?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I talked to them. Yeah. It's an interesting way to go about it, because like there were like bots and algorithms first, right? Kind of algorithmic trading first, and then they figured out on the back end how to tie that together to trade copying, which is different. Which is definitely different.
So they got. I give that company. They're constantly innovating. I think they're going to integrate their own dashboard, like a TradingView panel where you can execute off of. And I think when that comes in, it'll be a super cool software. But definitely, but if you just want to manage all your accounts in one place, that their software is unreal.
That's awesome. It's awesome.
Unreal. But again, it's Post. For trade copying, it's not the most user friendly. Like TradeSyncer is very simple because you just have your leader account, you execute in there, and everything just follows.
Yeah, if there's an inherent risk, I think, which is important to note as a whole with trade copying. I'm partnered and affiliated with TradeSyncer. If I had to pick, that would be my go-to. I like the dashboard. I like the cloud-based speed. I like the way the whole thing works. But I think if you're just gonna trade maybe with one firm, it's not a bad play to do what you're doing at all, because you don't have to use anything third-party. You're able to still view on a TradingView chart, although not execute right off of it. So that's solid. But yeah, I'm reading someone in the chat here. I remember you, man, talking about I forget TFD what firm it is, but they were talking about trying to hold on to Project X. I know they were buddy with Top Step. But yeah, commenting on Project X and everything. I've got videos on it, guys. I won't go into the whole detail, but the overview is Project X as a platform, which is what it is the main platform that was rolled out and used by Top Step, right? It's called Top Step X. And the overview is awesome platform, right? Cool user interface. Like, it's what I'm trading from right now. I was really a Project X maxi. Really awesome. They've had increasing issues through the end of last year into this year, to the point where it really just became completely unusable. Big outages, continually issues, obviously something broken on the back end that they were struggling to fix. Past that, whether or not that was happening at all, Project X sent out to all prop firms except for Top Step that they were pulling support. They're not going to offer it at all to any prop firms. So for that reason, all prop firms except for Top Step, and maybe the other one that this gentleman is mentioning here, will not have Project X. Most will be on Tradeovate, NinjaTrader, TradingView, or some other, maybe Rhythmic, some other offering. So, if you trade with prop firms, my humble, biased opinion is going to be get comfortable on one of those options that's available across all of them. I think that's really the way to go about this. For me, I would not touch Project X with a 10-foot pole if I didn't have to. Right now, once I'm off of it, I will not be opening up more accounts on it, at all. Obviously, a lot of problems on the back end, and just way too many red flags. So, part of the game. The space changes, the tools that we use change. I think it will continue to go that way for forever, especially with prop firms. But the best traders, just like they're going to be able to adapt to markets, they're going to be able to adapt to different changes within prop firms, changes within platforms that they're trading on, changes within regulations and margin requirements and live accounts, because this stuff does continue to change. So that's kind of the deal. But if anybody wants to hear more about it, look into detail what the hell I'm talking about, I got a long YouTube video on it. It's called Project X Issues. So if you're watching from YouTube, you guys can check that out if you want. But yeah, man, awesome to see. So ES consolidating up near highs for this one, Randy. This thing's trying. This thing's trying for you. I'm still in drawdown on my trade, halfway to the stop. We've wicked lower again, not dumping. It's finding a ton of struggle to get through these 100s without really just just bouncing here. I think I got one more chance to turn this bad boy around, but I would have loved to have my entry off the 100s, but we're still alive. Still alive in this one. Here we go, back up to the highs for ES, huh?
So if you were at the 100s, would you have stop would have been same place, just less risk?
No, I would have run it wider. I really would have run it wider. I don't mind where my stop is now on the way back up. Just the thesis of the trade a little bit different. If I had entered really aggressively to the downside, I really try to run my stop wide as I possibly can, which I'm kind of limited on minis here if I'm just trading one at a clip to around that $1,000 worth of loss, so maybe around 200 points. Again, I try to ask myself, and based on my data, I don't do fantastic off the open, as do most traders. Like if I look at my trades from 930 to 940, I don't have a spectacular win rate, right? There's just so much volatility that comes in. There are times like today where, there's a key level there and getting a really aggressive entry at that point might not be a bad play, but we'll just have to see how this one plays. But yeah,
for me, looking at my stats, those opening range, those opening drive plays or whatever we want to call them, where I think I was like 1 out of 10 I would win. The issue was you would get such a move on that one winner that you completely negated those 9 losers. Like you just forgot about them. Like, you know what I mean? That one 25-point runner on ES that just fucking went off the open. You're just like, that's all you remember, but you forget the 9 times that you got cooked. So I can't do it. Like it's off my list.
Yep. It's a good way to think about it, man. That move is so drastic. It's so enticing often. And if you're in it, it's just is like, that's the bright light in our like monkey brain where we're like, that's all we got to do. Long right off the open. It's 30 seconds in. Send it, full risk. So yeah, I think for the most part, I think plenty of traders can make it work if that's like your main forte, right? It's kind of like that Bruce Lee thing, that fear the man that practices not 1,000 different kicks, the same kick 1,000 times. Like if you're going to be a volatility and momentum trader, and there's guys on here, there's people that trade live that do it, that's probably all you're going to do. You're probably going to sit around all day waiting for really big volume, volatile momentum moves in the market, right? And that's your movement. Maybe you have alerts for that type of thing. Maybe you sit behind the desk all damn day and wait for it to trade it. But you're probably not trading, 10 seconds into NYSE open and then also really slow moving, choppy, consolidating markets. So it's fast. I think inherently the decision making has to be quicker. The structuring of risk has to be quicker. That can be more difficult. So for most beginners, probably not the best idea to try to trade NFP Friday or FOMC, right? Like probably not the best move. It just becomes difficult to structure risk on. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. I just think for most, like, write it off and decide like that's not the move for you, or get really good at trading it. For me, the way that I'll trade it is not like that. It's not the opening drive. It's just entry at a level. Right? It's like if I say, hey, conditions look good, structure looks good, trend aligns with this trade, I have a level, and if it's hit, regardless of time, right into the open, I'm jumping in on this. Like I'm entering right there. I'm not waiting for a confirmation or anything like that, which I think is different than saying,
yeah, I'm going to buy right at the open, or I'm going to do this right at the open.
Oh, we're moving to the upside, buy, right? Yeah. Or we're moving to the downside, buy, sell, that type of deal. So,
well, I very rarely fight the VWAP, like the New York VWAP. I'll be short below it and buying above it. And again, in this green cycle I've been in, I've actually had some really nice trades where I've bought it below the VWAP, but I've seen a clean level, seen some pre-market lows get swept, saw stuff on Bookmap that I had the confidence to, buy below the New York VWAP, and those trades have worked out great. But that's probably like 1 out of like 6 or 7 trades for me. where the other 6 or 7, I'm on the right side of the VWAP every time, right? So it's not I'm just going that one way. It's I'm slowly trying it. Am I going to find some success with it? Okay, maybe this is work. I'll look at these trades sometimes now. And it's kind of like how you say you have that level that you want to see. If price gets to it within the first 10 minutes of the open, you're convicted in the idea, you're going to take it, right? And that's more conviction. That's not trying to buy momentum or sell momentum or
Correct. Yeah, it's that pre-planning of it, right? And I think that's really important. It's a good way to think about it as well. Like, are you going to trade the open? How are you going to trade it? Are you going to trade news? How are you going to trade it? We never get smarter or make better plans when the market's ripping and we're in a trade and the P&L is just moving like crazy, right? If you pre-plan something, right? You accept the risk on the front end. You decide you want to enter at a key level. You want to trade through a high volatility time in the market. There's nothing inherently wrong with that, but I think that can also keep you in line. You can say, hey, I know I have XYZ risk on the front end. I'm comfortable taking that loss. I'm pre-planning this, and I think most of what we do should be pre-planned as it can be, right? Map out your areas of interest, the tools that you're going to use. What's your game plan? What does your setup look like? And you want to be reacting to the market, right? Not trying to predict it, not doing something in the middle of the session that's just off the cuff.
How you liking the new setup, by the way? Congrats, man. It looks beautiful.
Oh, it's sweet, man. Yeah, no, thank you. It's awesome for anybody on here. I'm in a new trading office, but I got some badass. I posted another one yesterday about it. I got some badass screens in front of me. It's nice, dude. Now I'm in South Florida and I'm trying to figure out, like, I have like a dehumidifier, an air purifier, a mini split AC unit, and then it was like cool today, so I got like extra socks on. Trying to figure out like the perfect ambiance, temperature in here.
Let it acclimatize for a while. You'll get there. It's good.
Yeah.
I know it's I walk in my office and like my trading setup is like I have so much pride in it.
Yeah,
and it's
dude.
like I built this thing. Like a lot of it actually came off of like Marketplace as I just like started like adding things, and when I saw yours, I was just like, because I love it when you take that pride in it. Like it's your car, your spaceship, whatever you want to call it, right? Like how like all my wires like are all hidden, like it's just like, so I love it, right? And I saw your keyboard. How you liking that? So I run a Logitech G915, like a low profile one with like clicky switches, but you got the big switches, and I like the black and white.
Yeah. So here, ready? We'll show this. Hang on. Not to completely get off topic, guys, but we'll talk trading setups. So I've got now this is a wireless Bluetooth deal. Keytron, I think is the name of it. They're like mechanical, really clicky type of deal. This was the one. I have it sitting next to me. This was the wired one that I had, but here, ready? Let's get the what do they call it? ASMR.
Yeah.
But no, dude, they're sweet. They're sweet. I'll send you a link for one of these afterwards.
Yeah. See, like I have this, but it's like.
Yeah.
It's got this wheel here for the volume that I can't like live without. Like it's to turn the volume up and down. It's like this aluminum like roller that you just slide your thumb over it, and it's like up and down. Like, oh, it's so nice. But I do like the look of yours.
Yeah. No, they're clean. It's like you said, it's cool. I had a really nice area to trade from. I had a really nice space, in the house. But this was the first time I was like, all right, from the ground up, I'm laying everything out. I'm picking the desk. I'm picking where the screens are going to go, the setup, the mounts, everything. And, all the way down to the keyboard, the mouse, the fans, like everything, the way it's set up. And it's been cool. It's been really fun to do. I'm grateful that I get to do that. But like you said, you take pride in it, right? You're like excited about it because this is the battle station. This is the workstation. It's where I sit for most of the day. And it's nice. It's definitely nice. I
agree.
Yeah, I haven't had it, and I'll say for anybody out there, you don't need a million screens to make money. A keyboard, the keyboard, is not going to probably help you make more money in the markets or structure your risk. So we'll grain of salt this stuff, but take pride in your stuff. Be comfortable in your space. I think that could be a good thing.
Well, you got to feel good. You got to feel good. That's important. That Time Pass Core had a question there, Zach. Maybe I don't trade silver.
Sure.
Hopefully you could answer this one.
Yo, I'm going to answer this one quick question for the guy Omega, right? Who is saying price is freezing for you? NY is freezing. What do you guys? Is it like on Project X, or were you just talking about something else? Oh, come back to NY. It's freezing. I'm such an idiot. Yeah, come back to NY. Yeah, no, yeah. I'm from New York originally, for those that don't know, but yeah, it's cold. My family's sending me pictures of being snowed in. Time pass core. Do you think I should trade silver? Probably not. Right? Why do you want to trade silver? Because it's moving an insane amount, right? It's extremely volatile right now. For the most part, here's the reasons. Here's the way I would respond to that. If you're going to be a trader that moves around instruments to find the highest volatile instrument, of the session or of the trading day, yeah, you should probably be trading silver, right? If that's not your MO, if that's not how you are approaching trading in general, why would you be trading anything different, right? Secondly, if you are new at all, if you are a beginner, if you don't have any type of consistency, especially on a really fast moving market, silver would be the worst thing. This would be the worst thing to trade, right? Most traders like volatility. They want to go to the fast moving market because it presents opportunity. It also presents equal parts risk, right? So for the most part, everybody hopping on to trade silver this year is getting absolutely smoked, just objectively. They're getting absolutely cooked. You're seeing huge outsized wins. I saw the biggest days on prop firms that I've seen ever on silver because it's moving more than ever, right? And the contract value, the notional size is insane. Great for sim farming, great for YOLOing accounts, right? Into the ground to lose them or to big profits. But for the most part, if unless you can answer those two questions, right? And I'm not honing in on you, Time Pass Core. This is for everybody. Unless you are a trader that is looking for a lot of volume and volatility, extremely fast moving markets in general, and you're a trader that is going to actively move between different instruments, right? Like most traders don't want either of those two things. They want to get good at trading one instrument, and they don't necessarily want to be trading a high impact news event every single day, right? That's not where I would say most traders are doing well. You would have to fit the bill for most of that, and most people aren't. And so I saw so many hopping over to trade, the instrument of the day, and I'm like, that's not going to go well for you. You don't trade silver every day. You have no idea how it moves. You don't know what the volume looks like. You don't know what the volatility looks like. You don't know how it moves, right? It's different than everything else. So, why all of a sudden are you on silver? Because everybody else is on silver, because it's moving really fast. So, those talking about trading with a plan, talking about pre-planning things, right? There's going to be something else this year and next year, right? It's going to have insane movement. Is that a part of your trading plan as a business, right? Is that what you're going to do? Do you move around market to market, instrument to instrument? If the answer is yes, figure out how you're going to do that, right? Write that into your plan. How do you adjust? How do you size? What does that look like? And then second, is a core piece of your trading volatility, is a core massive piece trading extremely fast moving, momentum markets. If it's not, getting on one of those is not going to help you, right? You can always size up. You can always, to a degree, but for the most part, we should be able to increase position sizes. We can tighten up stops. We can widen out stops. You can make that contract sizes whatever you want, so long as you have the money to put behind it. But for prop accounts specifically, the way silver was moving, it out of control. That the trading 15 minis on silver, earlier this year, is absolutely out of control. So, for the most part, no. I think for like 90% of people, no. But again, you should ask yourself and have that plan ahead of time. Is that what I look for? Are you going to try to, and there's nothing wrong with that, but are you going to try to trade the market that's moving, the leader or whatever it is? For intraday futures traders, for the most part, that's not how they approach the market. I'd say swing trading stocks, investing, trading options, it's definitely different, right? I do a lot of that stuff on the side, and I've been doing a lot more of it this year. It is very different. But I think you need to ask yourself those questions first. So for the most part, by and large, generally, no. Small select group, they're going to absolutely clean up, and that's exactly what they're looking for and waiting for. So I hope that helps, guys. Hope that helps.
Yeah, I've talked to multiple new traders that have switched to, not even switched, just went and traded silver one evening and completely got smoked. And I don't mean like smoked, I mean like lost their accounts. And I know multiple people that blew their accounts trading
Hmm.
Asia session silver. And it was just like, you see, and again, people post these. I made $50,000 trading silver last night, and it's I think it's not they got to say like I was in 10 minis
Hmm.
on I caught the move. Do you know what I mean? Like they
Yeah,
forget to preface with that, right? So it's
yeah. If you
I
guys
had a peek at gold about a month ago, and honestly, I took one trade. I didn't like the way it moved for me. Like I didn't the volatility in it and how fast the ticks moved and the dollar amount. I was like, I'm good. I'll pass, because I was actually thinking about I trade Asia quite a bit, because for me Asia is 3 p.m.
hmm
I'm on the West Coast, so it's
That's
it's
right. It's
it's
early for you. Early for you.
it's good. 3 to 5 p.m. I'm just doing some work at the desk, so I can get some trades in and catch some nice moves. Here we got a nice move on ES finally, going to break through these highs.
Yeah, I'm still alive on YM. It sold off really all morning so far. It's coming back to the 100s again. ES looking strong. NQ looking strong. Interesting, man. Interesting. This one's gonna be crazy to watch. Um, yeah, no, I again, I think, yeah, like time passed. Just he shared, thanks Zach. Happy to have you. Yeah, I did great on silver and then lost it all on one trade. That's why I had to ask. Yeah, not the goat by any means, but yeah, no, that's the piece there. Ryder says great analysis, Randy. Entry point acted like a strong wall. Very nice, man. Did that sometimes. I'd be high. Yeah, again, guys, like, what's your goal? What's the overall game plan? And like Randy said, I think something that is so difficult in this space, especially for newer traders, because they can't differentiate, right? And I was here too. In the space of in the time of prop firms, it's so easy to appear as a market magician, as an absolute wizard, to put up these insane dollar amounts and insane numbers, and most are not transparent with what's really going on behind that. Some are, but most of the huge, massive wins were preceded by huge, massive losses. Massive. I'm dozens and dozens and dozens of blown accounts, that most people would not be able to afford in the first place to get to that one big win, right? Some guys show it. Like I watched, you guys will probably watch it. I watched, it was like hundred and something $1,000 on Top Step, right? It was somebody copy trading 50K accounts. I'm not knocking this person at all, but the video was showing them hitting like a $20,000 trade, copy trading accounts that had huge profit in it. But you can also see the resting P&L right there was $10,000. So they were down negative $10,000. Excuse me. They were down $50,000 across their 5 accounts. They had a huge balance to start with. Had they lost that next trade, they would have been down like $100,000 across all of those accounts. But they came back to win $20,000 on each, like $100,000, across all of whatever it was. So, most people aren't showing you that. Most people aren't showing you what the risk they're taking on, what's going on behind that, right? A lot of it is just blatant sim farming, and even the stuff that's not, to put up really, really big numbers like that. It's massive, big losses, and that's okay. It's part of it, but it could be so skewed because you hop on and you scroll X, and it's nothing but huge green P&Ls, right? $50,000. I made $100,000. I made $50,000, right? And if you want some ideas of kind of like how to flag this stuff, right? How to frame it. Take a look at this is a nice trade, by the way. Randy still pushing the upside.
Thank you.
If you guys want to just how you kind of like frame this, how you take a look at it. Number one, does the person show losses in general? Do they trade live? If they don't trade live, unfortunately, this day and age, you really can't take much for at all. I don't, anybody that doesn't trade live, I grain of salt it. Number two, if they're just trading prop firms, they're putting up huge wins from it. They're showing you. Do they show losses? But even more so, do they show you full P&L calendars, or do they show you, if they're not trading live at all, like we are here, where you could watch the trades play out in real time? Do they show you all of the blown accounts behind what they're doing? A really big dead giveaway is a fresh set of accounts and 5 huge winning days, right? That means that all of the other accounts that they're not showing were 1, 2, 3, and then a big losing day, right? So some of that stuff you can kind of take into reference, right? And I'm not here to say, other people aren't great and making tons of money. I'm not the best trader. I don't have it all figured out. I'm not on leaderboards, none of this crazy stuff, man. And I'm definitely not being a hater at all. I think it's important that you understand the back end. And I didn't for a while. I really didn't understand what people were doing only a couple years back with prop firms. And I'm like, damn, man, I made like a $500 payout. I got a $1,000 payout. Like, I suck. These dudes are taking like $100,000 payout. Someone took $1 million. That's crazy. Well, the dude who took $1 million payout spent $250,000 that year in prop. You know what I'm saying? So, like you gotta grain of salt it a little bit. So
I closed my trade here at
nice.
basically that pin to 7,010. So there
Beautiful.
could be another little retracement here. I don't want it. I'm okay to not sit in it. I'm good with this for now. It's just a little win. I wasn't trying to do anything too crazy. But quickly, I want to add to that. What Zach was saying is, and Zach will know the story is, there's a guy that took a $2 million payout with Apex, and me and Thomas were actually another trader I trade with. I have a podcast with them. We're like really struggling with like, how are these guys taking these big payouts? And then we found out, lo and behold, he spent $300,000 to get to that $2 million. And that's still a great ROI, but he still had the 300 grand. He wasn't trading from a place of scarcity, right? No. He wasn't putting it on his credit card saying, shit, I'm not going to be able to get groceries this week, or I can't pay my bills. He's just giving her. And it was like, that really reframed things in the prop space for me when I heard that. Cause it's like, okay, I don't need to, and then you should never compare yourself to anybody, but in the beginning, we're all going to do it. Right. Yeah. It's who we are. It's human nature. But ever since then, it was just like, I looked at things so differently. Like, okay, if I made, my first year of trading, if I made $10,000 in payouts and I spent, $2,000 on evals, well, I'm good with that. I'm okay ROI. With it.
I did great. The same percentage.
Right? It's all relative, and it's all scale. Relative. That's all it is.
Yep.
So I'm glad you said that, and I repeat that story probably once a week to somebody.
Yeah. Dude, it's such an important piece. It's just so hard for us to rationalize and conceptualize that. But I want to come back to your trade. But here's my thoughts, guys, on this. And I think somebody had said this, and it was really, really stuck with me. Trading it's not a money printer. It's a money multiplier. So it takes money to make money. The more money you have, the more money you can make easier with less risk, right? The less money you have, the less money you're going to make. It doesn't make somebody a better or worse trader, in my humble opinion, right? Because we are operating by return on investment, percents. There's certainly a skill level and an experience level to scaling, to putting on more risk. And that only comes with having more money to trade and more size to trade with. But, when you're looking at huge dollar amounts made, that is almost always, there are outliers, but almost always coming from huge starting capital, right? There's very few $100 to $1 million stories out there, and even those are usually bullshit. So, reframe your mind on some of this stuff, guys. Again, same thing is true with prop firms, okay? A lot of people immediately go, well, they start with the same size account. Yes, they blew 1,000 before they post that one where they have 100. Not all, right? Again, there's outliers in here. But for the most part, almost every big, and I'll go out on a limb and say this, almost every big prop firm trader, almost every big trader on the prop firm leaderboards are burning a lot of accounts. They're putting a lot of money behind that trading. Not all of it is sim farming, not all of it is a problem, but it's not, you're doing yourself a disservice if you're going to compare yourself to that if you're trading with one account. If you have $400 and you buy, 2 evals to trade with, you don't stand a chance against the guy who spent $100,000 or $300,000. Okay, how could you possibly stand a chance against that? The same way that maybe you won't stand a chance trading a $1,000 live account to put up the same returns as somebody trading a $500,000 live account, right? It's the same, it's the same thought process, and the same is true. It takes money to make money. But Randy, this was a good conversation. This is an awesome trade, dude. Before we get ready to do anything else, take us through this one start to finish. We watched it play out live. Beautiful execution, dude. Show us the, give us the rundown if you don't mind on this one, man. Saw some W's in the chat. Nice trade. A lot of people said nice. Absolutely.
Awesome. Thanks. No, so for me, it was, like I said, I was watching this 95 level previous week's value area high. I would have liked to taken a trade here, but the opening range hadn't set, and we were actually having a conversation, so it was like I wasn't 100% present. I missed this rip up here. I I don't know, I'd say 5% of me, but it used to be 95% of me would be buying somewhere in here, getting FOMO'd into this move up, and I'm going to buy it up here. And then just, as we come and take out the pre-market highs, which I know on ES and a lot of indices, when you take out those pre-market highs, lows, you're going to get a bit of a retracement, or price is going to stall. And there's going to be those outlier days where this is going to want to run. And if it did, I'm okay with it. This is where I'm at in my point of my trading. If I don't take a trade today, I'm okay with it.
Yep.
And as price pulls back down here, we get this bearish bar back down to the New York VWAP. Buyers clearly step right back in. I wait for the turn. I'm on a 2-minute, so I end up getting in up here. I take this long. And the reason I don't sweat this long and why I sit in it, actually, again, if we weren't in having a great conversation, I would have done an add-in on this New York VWAP. It's a very classic place for me to add in, but I just missed it again. But the CVD was just staying. If you come back, and this is what I look at on the CVD here, this is the first pullback down to New York VWAP. We set in this, lower low on the CVD. Here on the next pullback, which is not too far in price, the CVD is quite a bit higher. So it's telling me that the strength is still there. On this pullback here, if we pulled below this previous CVD low, I would start to get worried. But again, if you look at the CVD, it's putting in higher lows.
Pushing the upside, continuing to
right.
push the
Everything's
upside.
trending in that direction. So I gotta be. This is where it's helped me build a lot of confidence of sitting in my trades, is watching the CVD and buyers taking control, or sellers if we're on the downside, and just kind of watching it and understanding that, okay, we have more room to the upside. And look at this, thing's going to keep going. And this is another thing. I'm okay with this, guys.
Yep.
I don't give a shit that this is going to go 20 points higher. I had a target. This thing easily could have took out these highs and just retraced right back down, and I'd be sitting in this trade again. So that was the thesis behind the trade. Like I said, I would have added in here and did, got more profit, but I was having a great conversation with Zach. That was more important, to be honest. So
absolutely. No, dude.
I let you got it. No, but this is where it's like trading, right? Like you have to, you got to find that balance of what's important, what's not. And okay, I know where I'm in the trade. I'm comfortable. Okay, I missed the add and whatever. I still hit my trade idea. I got what I wanted out of the trade.
Yep. Dude, beautiful analysis, beautiful breakdown. Sorry, Rand, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, no, there was just orders at 7,010 that I was watching. That's where my take profit was drawn to. So as soon as those orders popped and we didn't get a bunch of follow through, I just took off. If not, if those orders popped and this candle printed, I would have stayed in the trade for another 5 points, but it didn't. Instead, those orders filled and this candle started to retrace, which to me could signal a pullback down to VWAP. And like I said, I didn't want to sit in the trade any longer. I'm good with the 8.5 points on it. I look to take 10 points out of ES. Anything from, 7 to 10 points, I'm happy all day long. That's kind of my sweet spot. And then you get those home run days where they run. And then you get days where you stack up these, 7, 8, 9 point days, these trades. And like I said, I've taken 9 payouts since the beginning of December.
Awesome, dude. Listen, you got something that's working there. I love the analysis. Appreciate the breakdown. W's in the chat for Randy, taking a clean trade off the open. Stayed patient, waited for the didn't chase the huge breakout. Waited for the retest, stuck to your rules, everything. I love it, dude. And listen, the one part I want to parrot on here, which I think is so difficult. This market might run. And what did Randy say about this one? Like, for those listening, doesn't give a shit. Excuse our language here, but don't care if the market continues to run. That's not your job to catch every single movement in the market. The market's going to do whatever it wants to do. It could just as easily, rip 100 points or sell off 100 points on news or whatever happens, right? The thesis of the trade, like you said, was I'm going to wait for, a push back up to these highs, break of the highs. You're reading price action, market structure, the book map that you're using, volume tools that you're using. For those that want to check it out, what Randy's showing there on the left-hand side is book map, same tool that I use. And you executed really well. Being able to just be comfortable with whatever happens after that, that's the mark of a trader that's going to make it, in my humble opinion, of a much more mature trader. I used to never be able to do that. Market kept going. After I closed, I caught a huge trade. Oh my gosh, I messed it up. I blew it. I should have. Well, what's your thesis, right? How are you going to approach the market every day? Are you going to run a 20% win rate and you're going to go for a 10-to-1 risk to reward where you never close? You're only going to be trying to capture these huge outsized days. Or are you going to do what you're doing right here? You're going to be, saying, hey, I'm looking for 10 to 12 points, maybe out of ES. I can get a good risk structure with that. I can expect this out of the market consistently. after I hit that, I don't care what happens. Great. I get to feel like a genius if it sells off, or, maybe feel like I could have captured more if it pushed to the upside. But I know that it doesn't run every day. My
Yeah.
thesis is on this trade specifically is not that we run the highs and just rip higher. And, I know if I don't close the next 100 trades, right, doing what you did here, you're going to have a ton that come back on you. So it's a double-edged sword, and the market's always going to do something after we close a trade, before we get into a trade. You have to remember, like, and Austin says this a lot, my job is not to catch every move in the market. My job is not to catch the whole move of the day. It's to catch, my move. It's to catch my portion, whatever I define that is, which is completely up to the trader. So, dude, beautiful breakdown. Nice trade. Love to see it.
Awesome. Thank you.
Absolutely awesome, man. I'm back towards break even, but before
Let's
we run
go.
yeah, I'll throw up my chart here. Before we run an account giveaway, man, I'll get ready to let you go, Randy. Before we do that, man, let the people know where they can find you. I know it's the Randy Bains on IG.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
The Randy Bains. You can find me everywhere. Hit me up, follow me. You have any questions about anything you saw, the way I trade or anything, man, hit me up. I always go into my DMs and I always take the time to respond, right? So it's like, this is how, like, 2 years ago I was DMing people and I'd get, and through Austin I met people like Zach and people in the industry. So it's like, it's always about paying it forward and giving it back. So it's, seriously, have a question, hit me up, man. I'll take the time to answer it. Just as long as it's nothing stupid. Like,
yeah,
can't
right.
ask me why I don't color my hair or something, or why is my hair gray or something. Then it's gonna be like,
somebody asked me my shoe size on a live stream.
Really?
It's like, there's not many, but there are some stupid questions. So we'll
that's a
filter
new one, shoe size. They got a foot fetish, dude. I would have blocked them right away.
But dude, no, it's awesome, guys. You heard it. Hit Randy up. I think it's been so cool, man. Like, I bet you through Austin as well. Tampa in person last year, Tampa this year. Getting on streams together. This is what it's all about, right? You might not. I try to tell people this as well. You might not trade exactly the same way as me or Randy. In fact, you probably won't trade the same way as anybody else. You're going to trade your own way. But to gain perspective on the way they trade, the tools they use, the read of the market, their journey, right? Where they're coming from. Huge advantage. It's why I have so many traders coming on the stream. It's awesome. I was hyped to have you back on. Can we say that you're going to be back on? Couple weeks,
For sure,
maybe we'll run it back.
For sure. Well, the chat's
Awesome,
loving
man.
it, so definitely I'll have to come back for them too. I appreciate the love, everyone. So
Listen,
I definitely honestly, I got super busy. Just, we stream every day on ASFX. So, but I told Zach, and Zach was asking the other day, and I'm like, I just got to get back to it, because the last time I came on, Zach was short, I was long. We both made money. Like, it was a fun stream, right? So,
dude, it was a blast. We faded each other just naturally how it happened. We both made money. Great demonstration of it. So yeah, man, it's been awesome. We'll get you back on, Randy. W trade, love to see it, and W process as always, man. So
cheers,
guys,
brother. You enjoy
great,
your day,
man.
and cheers, chat. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Talk to you soon.
Thanks again, Randy. All right, guys, awesome stream with Randy so far. Don't go anywhere just yet. We're getting ready to run an account giveaway. We're going to be giving away an instant funded account. Go ahead, smash the like button, run the likes up on YouTube. I'll be right back, guys. I'll be right back. All right, chat. Let's see. We said 80 likes on the YouTube live stream. You guys are almost there. 72. We'll go ahead and get ready to run this one. Remember, guys, you do have to be in the 100% free community. The link that I'm going to throw in chat again right here, guys. You got to be in Discord. The form is going to drop there pretty soon. Let me throw the banner up. Take a look at my trade, which is still trying to push higher. Not really able to do too much on this thing, man. Trying to push its way higher, but struggling nonetheless. Let's see. Let me go ahead and get the ducks ready to roll, guys. What's going on, chat? How we doing, man? Yeah, Randy was awesome. W on Randy's trade. Really nice execution. Good explanation. It's been awesome, man. Randy's taking W's this year for sure. Said 9 payouts. He's obviously copy trading accounts. He's trading multiple firms, but you know, he's someone that really grabbed a ton of consistency coming into this year. Copy trading prop firms, trading across different prop firms. Really, really cool to see. So, while you guys are getting the likes up, we're going to go ahead and get the ducks ready to roll. We're going to be giving out an instant funded account from Top 1 Futures. If you don't know, if you haven't checked out Top 1 Futures, it's the account that both me and Randy were trading on today, or the accounts, I should say. If you want to check out an instant funded prop firm, no challenge, no activation fee, no time limit, straight into a funded account. In my humble biased opinion, this is the best option because I am partnered, I'm affiliated. If you guys want to check it out, link is in the chat. Code RDF is 60% off all accounts, and they just had a positive rule change. Usually rule changes are a nightmare at prop firms. Almost always they're a nightmare at prop firms. Top 1 Futures has had a positive rule change. It's been absolutely awesome, man. So let's see. I think you guys are almost there, but I'm going ahead just getting the form ready to roll. Today is the 27th. We're going to get somebody funded. Maybe we get multiple people funded. You never know. Sometimes we do more than one. Appreciate you guys hopping on as always, man. Stream is growing every single day. Absolutely insane. I'm almost at 15,000 here on YouTube. I'm almost at 10K on IG. It's crazy, man. The growth across socials is absolutely insane. Millions of views now. I had a couple months where I was well over millions of views on individual platforms, which is just absolutely insane. But I'm grateful for it, guys. I really am. So appreciate y'all all being here. Let's see where we're at on YouTube. Great opportunity for everybody. Tushar, it is 60% off your first or next account. Bro, tell Top 1 they need a quantity button to check out. Having to buy 10 accounts is mad ridiculous. Purple Ninja Facts, I agree. And guess what? As you probably know, only rule new accounts, sir. Yes, new accounts. Rule changes are not retroactively applied. It's a good point, Purple Ninja Facts. I've asked every prop firm from the beginning why you don't have a quantity button. Within the next couple of weeks, hopefully, you won't have to go back and purchase more and more accounts. If you want to copy trade 3 accounts, you could be able to buy 3 at a clip. But as you know, at almost every prop firm, you don't have an option to choose the quantity. I don't know why that is. I think it's just a back-end software thing with all of them. But it's a good note, and they're on it. They are on it. They're aware and on it. Let's see, 85 likes. You guys hit it, man. You guys hit it. What happens to an old account? Nothing. Nothing happens to an old account. What do you mean, Jay? What happens to an old account when it comes over to Tradeovate? Because Tradeovate is coming over from Project X. you would just be on Tradeovate. What happens to an old account now that there's a widened out max loss limit? Nothing. There is an option. I shouldn't have said that so quick. There is an option, or at least there was for now, to transfer over to Tradeovate early from Project X. So if you had a Project X account, you could transfer over to Tradeovate, to a Tradeovate account, early migration. And if you were one of the people that were doing that, they were going to give you an added benefit of widening out that max loss limit. But hop in their Discord. They're constantly trying to do stuff in the right direction. As you can see by the stupid cheap deal here and the rule change in the right direction. Absolutely insane. So, here's what we got rolling, guys. Giveaway form is live in the Discord. Go ahead, get this one filled out. Guys, remember, if you're not in the 100% free Discord, it's pinned to the top of the chat. Here it is. Hop in there, guys. This is for an Ignite 50K instant funded account from Top 1 Futures. Quick rules on the giveaway so you guys can get this one. Make sure we get it right. Only fill the form out one time. Please. If you fill it out more than one time, I know you're going to fill it. I know you filled it out more than one time. You're not going to win, and you're going to get banned from the prop firm and every other company that I'm partnered and affiliated with. Also, you have 2 minutes. Let's say 2 minutes to get this filled out. Really, really quick. I'm going to try to limit the scammers by getting it filled out really, really quickly. Hop in Discord right now. Get it filled out. Link is live for 2 minutes. Maybe 2 minutes, 30 seconds because there's a little bit of a delay. Past that, we're going to run a duck race. You have to be in the chat to win. You have to be here to win. If you're not here, I don't know how you knew there was a giveaway today and you weren't on the live stream. So that's an immediate red flag. Past that, guys, thanks for being here, hopping on stream, giving yourself an opportunity to get funded, hanging out with me while I'm trading live, trying to make some damn money in these markets. Plot twist, my trade's coming all the way back. We're back in the green, showing me about $100 worth of profit. We'll see if we can't catch a little W. We'll see how this one goes. But first, we're going to get somebody funded. So, guys, again, get this one filled out right now. We're going to keep it quick. 2 minutes. 2 minutes on the clock. Get it rolling. We're going to get the ducks ready. And we'll get somebody funded. Let's see. Let's see what we can do, Chatty McChat Chat. Already joined. Where's the link? In the Discord. Thanks, Zach. Please, a second. I'm lagging. Get it filled out. In the main chat. Can't find the form. Look for 10 seconds, Luca. You have to look, guys. And I hope I'm not being, you guys don't think I'm being like a jerk, right? Or being a dick, for lack of a better term. I'm so grateful for all the growth. I'm so grateful to get to connect with so many traders. But I repeatedly get the same questions, guys. I get, when do you go live? It's on every single platform or page immediately. I post a live schedule in Discord. I post it on my socials, on X, on IG. I talk about it on here. It's the same time every single day, right? I get questions, you know, what's your name or whatever, like really, really simple stuff, right? You know, so the form, I already said it. I try not to repeat myself too much, and I know I'm starting to get comments that I repeat myself too much. I go over the same stuff too much, and I'm catering to people that don't want to do any of the work by just looking for 5 seconds. So, you know, I hope you guys don't think I'm being a jerk when I start to get a little bit more focused, because if I'm constantly answering repetitive questions, you know, stuff that can be just found by looking for 10 seconds or something even Google can answer extremely quickly, you know, I'm taking away from talking about other good stuff. So I'm not yelling at anybody. I hope you know I'm not being a jerk, but I do have to be a little bit more mindful with my time, right, and where I'm spending it and how I'm answering questions, right? You know, if people are tagging me, asking the same questions over and over and over again, it's taking away from, you know, actually providing some value, right? My opinion on something based on, you know, whatever it is that we're talking about. So hope that helps. But now that I talked for more than 2 minutes, guess what? Form is done. Form is done in the main Discord. We're going to get somebody funded with an instant funded account right here. Chatty McChat chat. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do. Yeah, guys, I'm really clear with all of my stuff. At least I try to be, and I think I am. I repeat myself a lot, but all the info is always posted, guys. All the info is always posted, right? I repeat it. You know, if there's an error or something, you could always point it out to me. But try not to, you know, try to think about what would be a good use of, you know, asking a question, right? Or time. But certainly, like, you know, if it's something simple, super duper simple, like, you know, where is the form? And I've said it multiple times already. Maybe just look for 2 seconds, and I think you will find it. You know. Like, especially if it's on the screen and I've already said it multiple times. I don't know. But probably we'll just repeat that for a while and then just stop answering, you know, the same questions over and over and over again. All right. We have 100 ducks in a row. Right around 100 ducks in a row. Let's go. Let's go, Chatty McChat chat. It's ducks time. Let's go. We got our ducks in a row. Remember, guys, if you didn't get a chance to get in today, maybe you just hopped on, maybe you're late to the party, whatever it is. 2 things before I run this, because I know I'm going to hear it tomorrow. 2 things. Number 1. We run these almost every day, definitely every week, sometimes multiple every single week. So if you don't win today, if you miss the form, hop on, man. There's going to be plenty more chances. As you can see from the amount of people on my stream, there's a really good chance to win. Really good. Arguably the best chance out of anywhere else on anywhere. But along with that, guys, I've been running these around the same time every day. And I said this last week. I'm going to say it again so you don't get sad tomorrow if you miss the form. I'm going to start changing it up. I'm going to roll the dice on you guys, okay? We're going to run these early. We're going to run them late. We're going to run them in the middle of the session. I might run them as soon as I hop on the live stream. I might run them later than this. So if you're hopping on around the same time, you're here right now, I encourage you, be on here for the whole stream. Maybe we start running multiple. Maybe we run one in the beginning, one in the middle, one in the afternoon. I don't know. You're going to have to be here to find out. But just as a heads up, because I get like counts that jump crazy. And I think it's important to reward everybody that's on here. Let's go ahead and run it. The ducks are off. The ducks are off. Stream buffer is just be 100 ducks, 72 viewers. We've had a significant amount of viewers hop on and off. So there's 110 across platforms because I stream to YouTube, Kick, and X. So there's more than the 72 that you see on YouTube. Along with that, we've had 336 people hop on and off the stream. So I can't always tell who's here. Stream buffering. No, I think I just had it paused. The forum was closed after 3 minutes, really. Yes. Yeah. That's the deal. Random days, random times. You got to be on here to catch it. Please speed. I need this. Ducks time. I say that every day. Yes, I know I say that every day. And then I've been doing it at the end of the stream almost every day. So you're spot on. Let's go. Been a while since my duck did his job. About to get fired. Let's see. We'll see what you guys get. Yeah, no, I know. Most people are on from one stream. Just so you guys know, I stream to YouTube, Kick, and X. I've streamed to IG as well a couple times. But we also have a lot of people that hop on and off. So I never know who's on, who's not on. I usually end up with triple or quadruple the amount of concurrent viewers for people that have been on for a while and then hop back off. But yeah, man. And I always appreciate the recommendations. I appreciate the comments, guys. I'm going to run these as we grow. I get more of them. I'm going to run these as I see fit, right? So it's random days, random times on the stream, a formal drop for a very short amount of time. You got to be on here to catch it. If you catch it, you have a no purchase necessary chance to win an instant funded account. That's how I'm running these. Almost every damn day, man. So don't sweat it if you miss one, man. Don't sweat it. Ducks, go, go, go. Yeah, you guys are heavy on the Ducks today. On the Ducks today. Let's see, 43 seconds to go. We got a lot of cycling around on these ones, man. I don't know. No clear winner just yet, man. No breakout duck just yet. Nobody running away with it just yet. $18 seconds to go. Tushar, Trump Duck up front. Top Hat Dunk, Muhammad, BX. That's a Discord OG. Man. Stop loss is getting hit. Trump Duck holding strong. Cyrus down the bottom. ADL King down on the bottom. Shahid FX. The number 54 Duck taking the W. Remember, don't go anywhere, chat. Don't go anywhere. You got to be on the stream to win it. Shahid FX. I'm sorry, I never know how to pronounce anybody's names. Where you at, man? Say what's up in the live chat if you are here. I'm also going to set a timer so we don't wait for him forever. Remember, you got to be on the live stream to win. Shahid FX, yep, that's your YouTube username. There you go. He's here. We got W's in the chat today. W's in the chat for my man taking the win on this one. Very, very, very nice. Okay, Duck, okay. Let's come back over to this tab for now. Remember, guys, if you didn't win today, if you just want to check out Top 1 Futures, link is in the chat. This is one of the best options for instant funded. Plus, this is ending this week, guys. Code RDF, 60% off your first or next account with them is ending this week, February 1st. And the wider max loss limit, hopefully that's not going anywhere, but that's part of this promotion. 4% across all accounts. If you guys want to check it out, link is in the chat. Before I get ready to hop off, let's go ahead back over to my trade. Wide stop paying me today. We're going to see if we can't run this one back into the green. Well, we're already back into the green. We'll see if we can't run this one back up to the upside. I'd like to see this thing run all the way back up here. This is going to be a danger zone, man. This is going to be a tough point to get past. I'll call out some management in the Discord. I'll call out some trade management in the Discord. I might be looking to grab this if we just get a pop back up here after this really gnarly push to the downside all damn day. I don't know that we just continue back up higher. I don't know that I want to try my hand at the complete reversion here. May exercise some discretion. Yeah, I don't know that we flip this thing bullish. So I'm going to be cautious. I'm going to say into the 300s, about another 100, 120 points higher than here. I'm going to be cautious into the 300s. But we'll see if we can't grab a W on this one, man. If you guys want the trade management, feel free to hop in the 100% free trading Discord. Link is pinned to the top of the chat. Appreciate you guys being here. Appreciate you guys being here, man. Yeah, if you can't see your ducks, it's because it's too many. If you couldn't see your duck on the screen, I promise you your duck was there. Too many ducks on the screen. Remember, guys, I'm here live trading almost every damn day, 100% free. Free 99. I don't have a course or a VIP or some special thing where I manage your money. If you guys want to check out the rest of the week, here's what we got coming up. Let me get rid of this banner. Live trading schedule this week. I'm with you solo tomorrow. You know we're running some duck races. We got Ace of Trades on the stream. Major heavy hitter. We're going to be talking to him on Thursday, 9:15 a.m. Eastern, and then back at it Friday. Full week of live streaming with you guys. Again, instant funded giveaways every damn day on these live streams. You want more sauce? You want more juice? Follow me on IG. Follow me on X. Follow me on Kick. Follow me here on YouTube. If you're somewhere else, you can follow me on YouTube. Real Deal Zach and or Real Deal Futures. You'd find it on all of them. Hope you guys had an awesome time on the stream. Hope you have an awesome time trading the rest of the day. I hope we get to catch a W on this one. We're going to end this stream right around break even in the green here. We'll have to see how this one plays out. Remember, guys, I'm not a financial advisor. I don't provide financial advice. Nothing I say or do is a suggestion or recommendation to do anything at all. Make sure you do your own research. Make your own trading decisions. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is, even if funded prop from accounts. And the affiliate and partnership disclaimer that says, I stand to make money from links and codes in my content like Top 1 Futures, code RDF, Bookmap, Edgeful, and others. Hope this helps, guys. Hope you have an awesome rest of the trading day. I will see you soon.